Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to Project Octorok. And you may not recognize this voice or know why we are looking at footage for Metal Gear Solid 5. That is because you are listening to the sultry tones of Kurt, the editor. Yeah, I am stepping out from behind the scenes because today, the day you're watching this, is the 1 year anniversary of the first video I edited that got put up onto Project Octorok. It's the 1 year anniversary of my time with Octorok. So I thought what might be nice is if I showed off some footage from a game I'm really getting into. I chose a Metal Gear game primarily because, I know Metal Gear. It's the one franchise I know like the back of my hand. Call of Duty is probably second in that regard, followed closely by, Mario, maybe Zelda. But the point being, I know Metal Gear. Metal Gear is my jam. You may have noticed that that the footage you're seeing it doesn't seem to be concerned very much with syncing up. That's because I recorded it beforehand, before recording the audio you're hearing right now. That is because I attempted to do a full sort of let's play, 40 minutes to an hour of Metal Gear footage, and it did not pan out. Turns out the Xbox One's limitations on what you can record, they put a damper on video footage that's longer than about 5 minutes. So yeah, you're getting this in lieu of a full let's play. So I wanted to talk about basically whatever, I guess, a theoretical person, a theoretical fan of ours might ask me, like, how do you make these videos? How did you get involved with Octorok? Why are you so handsome? I can answer that last question first. Very good genes. Very good, decent genes on one end, but very good genes in general. I got involved with Octorok, as I said, 1 year ago. Contacted them out of the blue. I was looking for work, and they gave me a shot. So, yeah, I started tinkering with their stuff. They put me on Mario Tennis. The video they did for that. There was Sonic the Fighters. Sorry, not Mario. Sonic the Fighters that I edited. And then they got me on board Sonic 06, and from there it was off to the races. So, yeah, I've been on several Octorok series. Fallout 3, that was one of mine. Didn't go very far, but, sometimes that's just what happens. Some series just don't develop beyond a couple episodes. There was the Mario Kart mini-series. We did Pokemon Channel for a couple months. Let me think. We got some stuff in the works. Obviously, I'll get back to that. Just trying to think. I know that there's other series. Oh yeah, and I did some editing for the Wind Waker series. At some point, we'll continue that. Maybe. I usually don't ask Johnny these things until it comes time to start editing and putting stuff out. So the editing process I nailed down fairly quickly. It took me about a month out of this past year to figure out what exactly the strategy is. And the strategy is usually to get a rough sense of what a given episode. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. It's a very loose process, but basically it amounts to watch about 10 to 15 minutes of footage, see what ends up being a good stopping point, and go from there. So sometimes there are episodes that run a little longer just because it's hard to find a good stopping point. So yeah, I'm sorry if that breaks the illusion for you. I don't intend to I don't intend to invoke suspension of disbelief, but if someone is interested in editing, know that sometimes you get a big chunk of footage and you have to chop that down into bite-sized pieces. So we aim for about 10 to 15 minutes. That seems like a reasonable length, and to be honest, that's what I went with my own channel, and it seemed to work well for us. I haven't heard any complaints anyway. So what I've found is that syncing is probably the toughest part. Finding a stopping point for cutting up recorded rough footage into episodes, that can be handled well enough. Producing the episodes in high quality, I'm getting better at that. But the syncing is the sticking point. Maybe you've noticed, maybe not, that there's been some, quirky moments with some episodes of, say, Sonic 06. That's because syncing up that series is just... it's an unbelievable nightmare, and it really just hammers home how awful that game is. Like, I would rather be playing this. I'm looking at the screen right now, and I'm looking at the footage of Metal Gear. So, at this point, I'm looking at Snake doing his thing, causing trouble. Or planning to cause trouble. So, yeah, Sonic 06 sucks. Metal Gear Solid 5, awesome. Might be talking about that more soon. Yeah, watch till the end of this episode. So, I use Audacity for my audio stuff and Kdenlive for the video. That's just what I had. Like, I went with what was on my netbook, and what was on my netbook was Audacity and Kdenlive. Audacity works well enough, but I'm still trying to figure out stuff like noise removal, and I just found another tool that'll allow me to try and get more of the static you might be hearing. I try and remove as much as possible, but I don't have a particularly great audio setup, so that's part of why I don't get involved in the more live action stuff. I keep things more strictly in the realm of behind the scenes work and non-voiced cameos. If you've seen the Mario Party anniversary video, that's probably the best example of my preferred appearance on camera. No dialogue, just me doing something weird. I love doing that. I love doing that. Yeah, I don't tend to tinker with the guy's audio files that much, only my own audio stuff, because I'm a lot more critical of myself than I am of them. They seem to use pretty good microphones. I have a headset, so yeah, that's how that's played out. Yeah, this is kind of informal, so I don't really have anything topic-wise to discuss. I mean, I could say I'm really happy to have worked with Octorok for this past year. This past year's been odd for me because I've personal stuff. Let's go with personal stuff and leave the details on the sidelines. Suffice to say, I have seen and been involved with a few different things. I mean, I've still got my paid work. I'm a Watch Mojo writer, so I'm dug in deep with that. But for Octorok stuff, I mean, editing is my go-to practice. It's what I do best on this channel. Oh, and if you've seen some thumbnails, that for some of our more recent videos, we actually got an artist on board. I've been communicating with them on Octorok's behalf to get them on board and kind of raise our profile. We're also looking into ways of promoting ourselves, and there's a process. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I use Audacity and Kdenlive. Some footage it hits the cutting floor. There's stuff that I choose not to include in. Either removing it outright because on its own it's not really that entertaining and it doesn't really do much for each video, or I save the footage for something I'm working on. So Johnny and company have given me the green light for a series. And I'm not going to say what the series is. You'll have to wait until the end of this video to get a tease of what exactly you can expect. But suffice to say, I have a lot more creative control over that, so it's gonna be... pulling this type of series off, and now I got the chance. And Metal Gear Solid 5, coming back to that, it might show up on this new series, which I will name in the coming weeks, months. January is the loose release date of the first episode. I haven't nailed down... I have a rough sense of when it's going to come out, but there's still a few niggling things I have to work out. But anyway, yeah, so new series, we've got some stuff in the pipeline. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is going to be coming back very, very shortly. Still going on Sonic 06. We're getting through the Silver campaign, which means we're in the twilight hours, people. We are at the end we're near the end of the game. So be excited for that. And be excited for us not having to suffer through that shit anymore. We got something Animal Crossing-y on the way. I don't want to spoil it yet, but basically, imagine something kind of Mario Party-esque, but like think back to the Mario Party videos, basically. And we're making stuff. I guess I could talk about Metal Gear Solid 5. I brought it up a few times, so yeah. I like Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot. It's got really solid open-world gameplay. Everything builds on the mother base management component, and I really enjoyed that in Peace Walker. I thought it could really develop into something that would define the series going forward. I still maintain that Peace Walker is probably the best overall installment of the Metal Gear series. Like, it's at the very least tied with the original Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 3, but on balance, I think Peace Walker probably achieves the most. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 building on Peace Walker, I'm all for that. And there's always new things to unlock. There's missions which have a astounding amount of openness. You can screw up in all sorts of ways and just kind of flail your way to victory, or come in with a very tightly knit battle strategy. And yeah, it's led to my fair share of frustration, running a horse off a cliff, and running into gunfire recklessly, and a lot of fun, a lot of good times. Fultoning a bear is probably the highlight. The Fulton is awesome, and I remember the first time I saw a bear, I fled. I had Snake flee in fear, because I think I was out of tranquilizers, and it's a bear. Okay, it's a bear. If you don't have the means to tranquilize it, and you don't want to shoot it, and you don't have the means to Fulton it, even if you had tranquilizers, run. Just run away. Just run away until you have that stuff. Yeah, it's been fun so far. I feel like the shift to cassette tapes is probably gonna burn me out like other people have. A lot of people I've heard from have said it kind of diminishes the stories to a certain extent. Like, the gameplay emphasized over story. Emphasized? What the hell? Yeah, gameplay over story in this one. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's something to adjust to. Story, the quality of the story and the atmosphere and the characters has generally been favored over the gameplay. Not to say the gameplay's been bad, just not as solid as the stories. So I'm excited to play more of that. You might be seeing footage on the channel in some capacity. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And yeah, yeah, no, that's basically it. I've been given free reign to talk for something like 15 minutes. Closing thoughts, I guess, since we're coming to the end of this footage. Um, I am looking forward to doing more with Octorok. I like Let's Plays. Like, I like talking while I play games, and I think there's a lot of value in doing that. I like Octorok's approach to it, you know, off the cuff, playing some well-known games as well as some, you know, more obscure stuff. Just kind of, you know, having fun with it. Because, you know, games, fun, playing, that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm happy. That's the long and short of it. And I hope you enjoy our work. I hope you got a kick out of hearing a crazy editor talking about himself and his own shit for almost 20 minutes. Oh god, my throat's dry, but honestly, I'm good to keep doing this, and if Johnny and company are listening, know that I'm still on board for this. You don't have to worry about me, you know, losing touch with it. I came to you guys. I'm still on board for this, and I can't wait to see what we get ourselves into going forward. So, yeah. Guess we're gonna close out on that footage, and yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. So, I guess, I guess I'll leave you with, like, a sunset thing here. Just, you know, play myself out.
Until next time.
Where is Rosalina?
Where?
Can't hear me. Nope.